Jaya Guru Guru Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gaura Gauri Jaya Poshashi Iskon Ki Jai Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai Shri Koti Time Hare Krishna Shri Koti Time Maya Pashashi Ki from Lecture Devotion. And this section is still a preface. As far as material necessities are concerned, the human civilization at the present moment is very much advanced in living comfortably. But still, we're not happy because we are missing the point. The material comforts of life alone are not sufficient to make us happy. This is America, the richest nation in the world, having all these using a class of men completely confused and frustrated in life. I am appealing herewith to such confused men to learn the art of devotional service as directed in the Nectar of Devotion. And I am sure that the fire of material existence burning within their hearts will be immediately extinguished. The root cause of our dissatisfaction is that our dormant love and propensity has not been fulfilled despite our greatest advancement in the materialistic work of life. The Nectar of Devotion will give us practical hints how we can live in this material world perfectly engaged in devotional service and thus fulfill all our desires in this life and the next. The Nectar of Devotion is not presented to condemn any way of materialistic life, but the attempt is to give information to religionists, philosophers, and people in general how to love Krishna. One may live with material discomfiture, but we should not at the present moment, we are in so many ways to utilize our capacity to love, but actually we are missing the real point, Krishna. We are watering all parts of the tree, but missing the tree's root. We are trying to keep our body fit by all means, but we are unable to supply food to the stomach. Missing Krishna means missing oneself also. Real self-realization and realization of Krishna go together simultaneously. Because seeing oneself in the morning means seeing the sunrise also. Without seeing the sunshine, one can see himself. Similarly, unless one has realized Krishna, there is no question of self-realization. The Nectar of Devotion is specifically for persons who are now engaged in the Krishna movement. I beg to offer my sincere thanks to all my friends and disciples who are helping me to push for the Krishna movement in the Western region. And I beg to acknowledge the thanks and contribution made by my beloved disciple, Srimad Jayananda Brahmachari. I thank you too, as well, to the directors of ISKCON Press for so much care in publishing this great literature. Hare Krishna. A.C. Bhaktivedanta, April 13, quarters, 376 for Watseka, Los Angeles, California. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from the Srimad Bhagvatam. This is 7th canto. This chapter is chapter 5. Prahlad Sanyasana Harnikeshpu, text 28. Shri Guru Putra Uvacha Namat Pranitam Napara Pranitam Suto Dachya Tavendra Sacharo Nasagitayam Atyacharayan Niyachaman Tad Adamatna. At least if you not the word. Shri Guru Putra Uvacha Napranitam Parapranitam Sovatisha Natro Naishakayam Asrajan Niyatmanyam Kadamana Shri Putra Uvacha Napranitam Naparapranitam Sovadachya Tandrato Nasagikiyam Mate Ashirajan Niyachmanyam Yad Adasmamana. Bolo. Guru Vacha Sadovadachya Tavendra Satro Sagikiyam Mate Ashirajan. Ladies, Shri Guru Putra Uvacha. The son of Sukacharya, Hiranyakashipu's spiritual master, said, Na, not Matpanitam, educated by me. Na, no, Paripranitam, educated by anyone else. Sutta, the son Prahlad, Vedati, says, Esha, this, Tava, yo, Indra's Shatro, O enemy of King Indra. Nagiki, natural. Iyam, this. Mati, inclination. Aja, of him. Rajan, O king. Niyacha, give up. Manyam, your anger. Kad, fault. Ada, attribute. Sma, indeed. Ma, do not. Na, unto us. Translation: the son of Sukacharya, Hiranyakashipu's spiritual master, said, O enemy of King Indra, O king, what your son Prahlad has said was not taught to him, me, or anyone else. His spontaneous devotional service is naturally developed in him. Therefore, please give up your anger and do not unnecessarily accuse us. It is not good to insult a Brahmin in this way. Response: the son of Sukacharya, Hiranyakashipu's spiritual master, said, O enemy of King Indra, O king, whatever your son Prahlad has said was not taught to him by me or anyone else. His spontaneous devotional service has naturally developed in him. Therefore, please give up your anger and do not unnecessarily accuse us. It is not good to insult a Brahmin in this way. I'll read the next one. Shri Naraduvacha Guru Nevam Prati Prakto Bhuya Asura Sutta Nachat Guru Mukhiyam Te Puto Bhadrasatmati. Sri Narada Muni continued, when Hiranyakashipu received this reply from the teacher, he again addressed his son Prahlad. Hiranyakashipu said, You rascal, most fallen of our family, if you have not received this education from your teachers, where have you gotten it? Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur explained that devotional service is actually Abhadra Sati, not Abhadra Asati. In other words, knowledge of devotional service can be neither inauspicious nor contrary to etiquette. To learn devotional service is the duty of everyone. Therefore, the spontaneous education of Prahlad Maharaj is supported as auspicious and perfect. Oh my God, now. Tivranda Shagandana Shalakaya Shakshunalitam Jina Tasmashi Gurave Namaha Shitaitanya Manovastam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhupada Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vanchakapatruvischa Kripasindubhyevacha Paritanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So Hiranyakashipu, Shukracharya is annoyed that Hiranyakashipu is blaming him. He says, do not accuse us, and to insult a Brahmin in this way is not good. So that's interesting. He's telling Hiranyakashipu, it's not good to insult a Brahmin. And that's, if you look at his record, that's his speciality in sort of things. So the Brahmins, harm cows, breaking up the sacrifices. The same Shukracharya was the source of the demons. And so the Hiranyakashipu not was hoping to protect Prahlad and think, he's just a poor boy. And a little bit more. There is no struggle Prahlad. So he gives forward anger. This is just before he decides he's going to kill himself. It's all building up to that point. He's decided he needs to kill himself. So he said, "Rascal," was falling off. So the sons of that Madrasa Abhadra, O gracious one, and Asati Garib. Adrasati. So that's not good. You're being insulted. You probably won't hear it today if we're out in sun. Although we may not be on Sunday, if anyone wants to do that, it would be a great insult. For us, well, there you go. It doesn't have to even be that. If we're on Sunday, it says. And when you say, let's go out in Sankirtan today, and people are afraid, what are they afraid of? No. It's not so bad, is it? Nope. Everyone okay? It wasn't that bad, was it? Every now and again, someone will say, wow, Bhagavad Gita, I was looking for one of those. When we did that Palestinian march last Saturday, there was a couple of people that took the Bhagavad Gita that had been looking for them. Now, that would never have, when I first started doing books in the early 80s, nobody said that. Nobody, we didn't even know it was true to say. I know. But it says in the paper that actually it was Abhadasati. And Sati is wasn't chaste. So Bhadrasati. So knowledge of devotional service can be neither inauspicious nor contrary to etiquette. And to learn devotional service is the duty of everyone. So I suppose, in one sense, if you want to get on in life, you've got to learn devotional service, even if it's not to your boss, to Krishna. You've got to learn devotional service to your boss. You've got to be nice to your boss, or he won't pay you. You've got to be nice to your wife, which will divorce you. You've got to be nice to your kids, or they'll leave home. You're forced to perform devotional service anyway. And if you don't do devotional service, then you'll end up with no job, no husband, and no kids, because nobody is interested in you. So it's the devotional service that is the attractive feature in anybody, in any relationship. Take out the devotional service, and the thing's a mess. And what's going on now, people are doing the jobs, emptying the bins, driving the trains, chopping the potatoes. They're only doing it because they're getting money. That's the only reason. You take the money away, there's an announcement. Sorry, the government has just found out it's run out of money and nobody will be getting paid anything today. But we would like you just to continue anyway because you're doing a great job. Not many would turn up, right? So devotional services, you're doing it because you want to please. And as soon as you start giving money, I was on the doing a podcast with Bhakti Rupa last night, and he was saying that Tarkanath was asking that if anyone's going to be working, it has to be voluntary, not being paid money, because if they're getting paid money, they'll do the better. Whereas if you do it because you want to, because you want to please, then it becomes devotional service, and it's pleasing. So if you just pay somebody to say, I love you, it's not the same, is it? And unfortunately, we're all, everyone's, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. If you don't scratch my back, I'll scratch your eyes. That's not devotional, is it? And we can be devotional about everything. If you're devotional, whatever it is you're doing, if you're doing it with devotion, then whatever it is will be very satisfying. If you push service out, then we're missing the whole point, and everything is a waste of time. So why waste your time? You're here now. You're one of the few that are hearing about the Lord's devotional service in Les Mahego this morning. In fact, in Scotland this morning, out of 5 million people. Confirmed. So why not take advantage of that? What an amazing gift of knowledge to understand that your whole life hinges on how you can do something devotionally with no ulterior motive, just from the heart. So I could share something with you, but it might make you burst into tears. Anybody feeling emotional this morning? So Shiva Ramanuja was saying, he said, in the beginning, devotees are chanting Hare Krishna, and because they're chanting and they're making the noise Hare Krishna, or they may sound like they can't be bothered when they're chanting, almost like they're moaning. But if they're chanting like that, they're thinking, well, at least I'm chanting and I'm hearing it, so I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing not too bad. And in one sense, they are doing pretty good, and they're not doing too bad compared to what they were doing before they took up Krishna consciousness. But he was saying the actual goal isn't to just not do too bad, but the actual goal is to have Krishna dance on your tongue and Krishna dance in your ear. And he said, Krishna dance in your heart. He said, but he can only dance in your heart if you open your heart, first of all, to allow him to come in. So that's the devotional aspect. That's what we're just reading in the Nectar of Devotion, that everything hinges on this attitude of devotional service, and then it's Krishna consciousness. And that's the only time that we can understand ourselves. Once we see Krishna, then we see ourselves. Otherwise, we don't see ourselves. If we don't connect to Krishna through devotional service, then Krishna is a breakfast time. Then Krishna won't reveal himself, and then we'll miss the whole point of life, the whole goal of life. So it's ironic here. Hiranyakashipu is getting on Prahlad's case that you're a failure, you've let the side down so badly, you're Abhadra Asati. You're a rascal, and you're the most fallen of our family. So that's why we can't allow ourselves to be affected too much by the opinion of people that are mundane, materialistic people. In the Nectar of Instruction, there's 11 instructions for Rupa Goswami, and the third one is, the second one is outlining what are the things that need to be avoided. So Prabhupada, the 6 things, Achihara Priyasa Charvajopani Amagraha Jana Sangas Chalamja Shabdi Bhakti Vanashite. Vanashite means to become spoiled. Your devotional service becomes spoiled. If you're collecting too much, eating too much, over-endeavoring too much, mundane talk. And but Prabhupada in the purport explains that the special danger is the association jana sangas of the general populace. So if we are affected by the opinion of the general populace, then we will think that we are Abhadra Asati. We'll think that we're rascals and we are the most fallen. So we want to avoid the bad association and the opinion. And that's how we avoid listening to radio, TV, and newspapers, because that's what it is. It's all bad association, which will only undermine our faith in the process of devotional service, dampen our enthusiasm to practice devotional service. So Hiranyakashipu is not happy with Prahlad. He's trying to blame his teachers. The teachers are saying it's nothing to do with me. So now Hiranyakashipu will vent his full anger for his son Prahlad. What's interesting as well is there's Hiranyakashipu. He's controlling the entire universe. The demigods are petrified of him. And he's afraid of Prahlad. There's something about Prahlad. Prahlad is completely fearless. And even Hiranyakashipu can't say he's not completely free of fear. He's always trying to safeguard his position. There's always anxiety there. And fearing is the foremost of all the animal propensities. There's eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. And defending or fearing is the most prominent animal propensity, because we're afraid of our sex life being jeopardized. We're afraid of our sleep being curtailed. We're afraid of not getting enough to eat. So the fearing propensity pervades all the other animal propensities. So animal life means trayate mahatobayat is the greatest fear, to be in the animal form of life. And a human can become free from fear when he becomes Krishna conscious. When he's conscious that Krishna is there, Krishna is present. And Lord Nrsimhadev appeared to Prahlad before he appeared out of the pillar. He appeared to Prahlad and he went like that. Gave him a little wink to let him know it's going to be okay. And then he smashed the pillar. Very well. Did somebody call me? So because Prahlad had that faith, then he was completely free of fear. The Lord was very pleased with that. He was reciprocating with that. Therefore, the spontaneous education of Prahlad is supported as auspicious and perfect. So spontaneous devotional service is where you Vaidhi is where you're doing it because you have to. And Raganuga Bhakti, spontaneous, is where you're doing it because you want to. And how long does it take before we get to I have to do it, to I want to do it? It's up to yourself. As soon as you want to. We start by wanting to do it in a fluctuating way. Sometimes we want to do it, sometimes we don't want to do it, and that's Ka Nishta. Nishta is fixed, and Ka means without. And then Nishta. And then we spontaneously want to do everything. We want to be there for Mangalati, we want to be there for class, we want to be there for book distribution, we want to be there for service. We want to. And then taste comes, because when you're serving with that very enthusiastic attitude, and the Lord is so pleased that he reciprocates, and the way he reciprocates is you experience pleasure. When the Lord's pleased, you become pleased. And Rishikesh is the control and the pleaser of the senses, Govinda. So when Govinda is pleased, the senses are pleased, the cows are pleased. We had a nice class by Dhoti Kodina Bandhu, and he was saying, because generally a person's aura is about 3 meters. He was saying the aura of a cow is 30 meters. So we have a field full of cows that are pleased. That's a lot of goodwill that comes out there. And if the cows are pleased, Krishna is pleased. If Krishna is pleased, everybody else is pleased. Just like when Dasa and Krishna ate a little fragment of prasada, and me and him, 60,000 disciples, they were all full, and they're too embarrassed to go to Draupadi, who didn't have any food to go with any. Krishna made this arrangement, so as soon as he came pleased, everyone was totally filled up to the king. So we please Krishna, everyone becomes pleased. Any questions, comment?
How to please Krishna?
How to please? I wish I knew. But we have books all about please Krishna. Goodness, when you're chanting, you find hard to chant, you have hard to focus. One time very useful to record your and listen to it and see what it's like. It sounds like somebody enthusiastic, somebody with confidence, enthusiasm for it, and passion. Sometimes when you it's that when you're shooting, it's standing straight away, and so you have to walk a little bit because you have to be confident. She got it done. She very often to be sure that we become discouraged. Can't do confident, still not happy. So then they confident, then they become patient, and then they don't get to the state of being pleased. So we start trying to Krishna would be in a modern program without relationship with her. One devotee was in class that the chanting is then during the day, just the issue of the majority late and he didn't have time to put the on the altar. He just goes and it's just two heap clothes. And we said, oh, where's the thing? Oh, I didn't have everything else. The first thing is that how do you get into the holy name? So it's the please that we're there to please. To start a sustained period of time, which means you have to be patient. Then Krishna starts to make himself feel present, and then you feel connected, and then you have your prasadam, and then you engage in enthusiastic devotional service with a strong desire to please. So that pleasing, that attitude of wanting to please is not something that comes automatically. In fact, our default is to not be bothered. It's not too bad. It's kind of do pretty okay, really, kind of. That kind of half-hearted. That's our default. And then the challenge is, can you rise above that? Can you proactively accept that you want to be a conscious, devotional, well-intentioned entity and push through all the mental negativity and laziness and reluctance? I want to do this to please Krishna. I'm really concerned that Krishna is going to be pleased by this. Or I couldn't really be bothered. I mean, he's God anyway, isn't he? He's got millions of people serving him. What difference is it going to make? You know, he's self-satisfied. Won't make any difference to him. Yes, God.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. In verse 28, it starts with like Shukracharya's son speaking. So, like the author says, Shri Guru Putra Uvacha, and Guru's translation was given the spiritual master. But isn't spiritual master's job is to take us towards Krishna? So how can we say Shukracharya's spiritual master?
And also, how can we say he's a Brahmin? He's getting on Kashku's case, and you shouldn't insult Brahmins. He's considering himself a Brahmin. Any suggestions? Things going on there?
It's like his false ego puff, insult a Brahmin.
Could be. But he is power. And there's one point about him, isn't there? He becomes Krishna in the deep soul power. So they're getting a lot of power from him, it's connected in some way. So
yeah, it's not any people like more powerful, the demigod reader for me is ruling earth. I mean, for any not was, and a bit delusional to be. It's just anyway.
Yeah, there's a few cases I would tell the spiritual as well. Indra, and then Indra being defeated. Also, so powerful, brilliant. That's why when he went to Brahma studies, trying to please he realized unless so that it comes by saying that you don't get anywhere. You want to be unless you do service. You can be a person excited, do devotion. The demons on that needs to be a devotional system. And the Brahman and the masters, but it's all towards materialistic things. And it can be very spiritual, and it can be turned to something material.
So is Shukracharya like taster because he's in the material popular and Yakashipa in the popularization of consciousness?
Yeah, I spiritualized and probably more spiritual the question is always when someone starts to say he's a spiritual master. Is very right. A lot of his videos and Instagram and YouTube. When saying it, he says, I don't have a master. I've fought by the Gita to take them here with my ideas. That's a bogus guru. Not taking them towards Krishna. The ashram can be abused. It's just the Brahman becomes Mahita Jnana. He becomes science or the table that is met by the religion. There's 4 types of people that don't turn towards Krishna. There's Asuram Bhavam Ashrita, the Asuric leader who's a Kshatriya, but he's become a demoniac, so he's turned against. Then there's the Nadama, the Sanjaya, which is the Vaishya. So because he's making lots of money, he's doing better than the Shudra. But he's like the Shudra. And then the Shudra himself, who's out, the Shudra wants more to eat, more to drink, and a car, and then he's okay. So Shudra, that's the growth, the mood, the Buddha, the Skritino Buddha, the one who's sent is the Shudra. So you have the Varnashram system, if you don't try to touch it, it still exists. You have the Brahmins, but the Brahmins now become intellectual, nuclear bombs, and nasty things with their weapons. They could train, cured, and then could be reset in their original position. Just because you have Brahmins and Kshatriyas and Vaishyas and Shudras doesn't they're following Varnashram system, the Surya Varnashram, which is a system that gives to understanding of God and the but upon the principle that this is the life, you have to desire enjoyment. Yeah. Confirmed. Prabhupada says, no society have pieces you can cheat or you can cheat. So, cheat and one of the things that often is when a person gets something from them, they immediately think, okay, I'm going to go and steal something off someone else. So it just feeds in. Because nobody's following the system properly, everyone's abusing it. Everyone thinks, oh, he's I'm going to do it. And then it's choice. Bad situation. we can call people we can call them gurus, but their name only. I mean, they have some qualifications, some ability is definitely there. And if you're a demon and you really get on in life, then there's people you can please so that you can become a better demon, a better situated demon with more facilities. There's a system how to do it. And Krishna set up the whole material universe so that according to what you want, you can go to demoniac species of life. There's 8,400,000 species. You can go into higher planets, lower ones. You can stay in the middle. It's like playing a game. Okay, you roll the dice, and you either hit a snake or you hit a ladder, and that's what it is. And you learn how to play the game, and you try to factor in everything you want and how you're going to achieve it. And Prabhupada said, with spiritual desire, first is then desire. So now we've come across Krishna consciousness, and to some degree we have a desire to chant the pure holy name, Shuddhanam. So now we have to come to the point of deserving to chant the pure holy name. How are we going to achieve that? We have to perform tapasya, austerities. And by performing those austerities, although in the beginning it is like poison, in the end it will become like nectar. As one Prabhupada disciple said in his offering to Srila Prabhupada, when I look back on my life, the only times I regret are the times I didn't surrender. Anyone else? Any questions? It's an interesting subject, how to please Krishna. Because the first thing is wanting to please Krishna. You don't want to please Krishna in the first place. You may consider that an inconvenience. I'll just do my bit. I'll work to rule. I'll do the bare minimum. If you're doing the bare minimum all the time, it seems like you're getting away with it. Wow, I'm doing the bare minimum here. I'm going to go back to Godhead as well. This is great. You just hang back. Don't put your hand up when they ask us. You just do the bare, and then you can just slip in the back of the spiritual world. This is really cool. You just do the bare minimum. But if you want to get a taste in devotional service, you have to do the extra mile. It's the extra mile that makes Krishna smile. And when Krishna smiles, it's like the sun shining, the cloudy sky comes shining through. Krishna's smiling at you. Oh, look at him. He's putting himself out for me. That's nice. I'm pleased with him. So if you want to please Krishna, don't do the minimum. Do the extra mile.
Thank you, Prabhu. I just wondered if you could maybe say a little bit about the holy name and about the why chanting the holy name is so powerful. Some of us are quite new to this knowledge. So what is it about the holy name, and how can we sort of do that properly?
Well, Lord Chaitanya says, Namakari Bahu needs your Sarva Shaktis. Sarva Shaktis, Sarva is all, and Shaktis is energies. All the energies are invested in the holy name. But the problem is, what we're chanting generally doesn't start off as the holy name. It starts off as like when you first put an iron rod in the fire, and if you put it out too soon, then it's still an iron rod. It hasn't changed its qualities. It's still cold, still dark. When you leave it in for a while, then it starts to go hot and it starts to glow. So Rupa Goswami is asking us to be patient. That when you put the iron rod in the fire and you're hearing and you're chanting, you're engaging your material senses, Seva Mukhi Jivado, you're engaging the tongue in Seva. Krishna will, Swaya Svaratyada, the Swaya, the personality of Krishna, and Ada, all this paraphernalia, they will manifest. Sparat, they will manifest. But you have to be patient. And the challenge is, can you maintain enthusiasm and confidence over a sustained period of time? You have to be patient for when Krishna decides he's going to step in. Because Krishna steps in all the time to some small degree. But Machita Sabudegani, Krishna is referring there in the 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, that if you become conscious of me, you'll pass over all the obstacles. So a lot of the time we identify the obstacles as the obstacles, but they're not. The obstacles is we're not conscious of Krishna. That's the only obstacle, really. When you're conscious of Krishna, there aren't any more obstacles. Because everything's just an opportunity to serve, an opportunity to go forward, an opportunity to please Krishna. So there's an intermediate stage where we're chanting, and the chanting is not so potent, not so powerful. And we have to keep our standards very high and understand, I want the pure holy name. And to get that pure holy name, I have to be chanting Namabas. I have to be trying as hard as I can with all intention, every fiber of my existence in the chanting. And then that will act as a vehicle to take me to Shuddhanam. And then once we're chanting Shuddhanam, then that's like the sun at its zenith. So any difficulties you've been experiencing in the dark forest, when the sun's in its zenith, everything's gone. There's no fear, there's no darkness, there's no cold. You're in the full light of the holy name. And until we get to that point, then we're chanting, and we're kind of on borrowed time. How long can we keep chanting poorly before we decide to discontinue? So we should be trying, with every grain of enthusiasm and endeavor that we can muster. We must be trying all out to get to that point where that all the Dagani, all the difficulties will go once you become conscious of Krishna, once you are aware that Krishna is there, that he is the Supreme Person, that you're part and parcel of him. And it's interesting, in the 10th chapter, Krishna says they worship with all their hearts. When you actually realize Krishna is God, then you worship him with all your hearts. That's a symptom that you've realized, that you've become conscious of Krishna, that you serve him with all your heart. If you're not serving him with all your heart, it means you've not come to the point yet of fully understanding that he is God. So then you can't worship him with all your heart. You can't chant with all your heart. We're aspiring to do that, but that will only happen once we're aware that he's the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from him. Wise who understand this perfectly worship me with all their hearts. Then it will be a natural conclusion that you would do that, Just like there was a story recently I heard when the Queen was still alive. Somebody saw the Queen, he was on a walk, but he didn't realize it was the Queen. And he just wanted to have her in a selfie. And I think he was a foreigner himself. He didn't know what the Queen looked like, And the Queen was saying to one of her gods later on, I'd like to be the fly on the wall. When he goes home and shows his friends that picture, and they say, that was the Queen that you were with, And then they'd be like, oh my God. So we don't realize we're with the Queen when we're chanting. And then when we do realize it, then obviously he would have been a lot more courteous and nervous and careful. But he didn't realize who it was, you see. So when we realize Krishna is not different from its holy name, then we will chant differently. But anyway, we can record our chanting and play it back and listen. And do you sound enthusiastic? Do you sound confident? Do you sound patient? Like you're prepared to do this despite not having your preconceived agenda of what you thought the chanting was going to be bringing you. And if you sound a little bit distant, disconnected, inattentive, negative, dreary, moany when you're chanting, then you can think, okay, well, this is not a good attitude to be chanting with. I need to change the attitude. I need to align myself with how I should be doing it. And then Krishna can step in. It's a scientific process. When you're chanting, like when they say you take the test tube and you have to put 3 granules of potassium sorbate, 4 granules of citric acid, and 2 granules. It's a very precise. Like somebody was saying in class the other day, if you don't chant the mantras properly, you just need one syllable not done properly, and Vishnu doesn't appear in the yugya, in the fire. So the Yogya for Kali Yuga, the fire of sacrifice is the sound vibration of the holy name, and it has to be done really very, very, has to be chanted attentively, very carefully, well pronounced, and with feeling. So that those three elements have to be there, otherwise you won't get the proper thing coming out of the test tube.
A point came up last night with pronouncing the N in the Krishna. Is it supposed to be the tongue on the roof of the mouth? Krishna, rather than Krishna, because like I think we have a habit to put the tongue just in front of the teeth. You know the.
Yeah, Prabhupada said one time they were chanting and someone was going schnick schnick, and he goes, "Who is schnicking?" And everybody was looking at everybody like, "Have you been snicking?" You know. And then Prabhupada started chanting again, and they went, "Who is schnicking?" And finally they found it was someone was doing schnick. Another one is Krishna, 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 Krishna. And Rama can take right into many. So we should maybe record ourselves sometime and listen to them and say, am I chanting it properly? Hare Krishna. There was a devotee that was there when Prabhupada left his body. Bhagavatam used to be the temple president in South Street, and he said he saw Srila Prabhupada leave his body, and he went, Hare Krishna. And his tongue came out, and then he left his body. So Prabhupada left. And Prabhupada showed us how to chant. That's why we have the Srila Prabhupada chanting when we're chanting, so that we can hear this is what perfect pure chanting sounds like. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna. Prabhupada said that when you're chanting, it should flow like the Ganga. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama. Jai Yaskangarinda ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaura Premanandi, Hari Bo.